this Legend jumping onto what we know is a top 2, top 3 team in Halo Infinite for 3 years now. This is something I believe that is completely unprecedented, and it is so impressive to see it kick off like this. Now, can SSG stamp their first tournament win, even if it is online, with Legend is the big question. We have a best of 5 series to decide it.
You highlight Legend, and rightfully so. I think you mentioned tapping buttons from the LATAM region. You then got barcode from the A and Z region.
Yeah, but he speaks
now,
English.
Yeah, fair point. I'll say fair point. But Legend's English is quite good. So I don't think there's going to be this massive language barrier that maybe might have been there before. He knows exactly what words to use, and he definitely knows the call-outs, Wes.
Yeah, it's definitely blue, red, one shot.
You know what I think? I think SSG are just to try and settle his nerves, they're calling Red Rouge. That's what I'm thinking.
I'd love to hear something like that. But Grand Finals reset is underway, back on recharge, and we just saw a very dominant round 3 from Space Station. You know how comfortable they are on this map, and they are comfortable with a trip cap to kick this one off.
FaZe Clan need to lock in, dial it up, and adjust their headsets. And speaking of, pick up the Arctis Nova 7 wireless headset and hear your opponent's position with 360 degrees spatial audio, putting you at the center of the action for an in-game advantage. So important to have the peripherals to compete at the highest level, Wes, and SteelSeries don't mess around.
Now, these headphones are so clean. I've been using them for a few days now, and I will not switch off of them. I can promise you that. I've been gaming for a long time. I've been using several different headsets, probably one for the past 8 years, I would say, a majority of. And, I mean, these take the cake right now. Comfortable, light, wireless. Right now, it's getting ugly as ever at a 92-0 lead.
Space Station continuing in the same vein after the first series. Reset the bracket. Blew this thing wide open. Royal 2 heads towards top bay. Renegade bottom elevator. Frosty's positioned over towards tower. So Space Station happy to give up A because they're just going to flip it and take B and C and continue to score. And FaZe thus far have not had an answer.
Now, FaZe are having so much trouble dealing with the amount of pressure and the pace that SSG are setting right now. They'll gladly trade A for C and continue to score. It's 120 now to 0. Camo is up, and maybe that's the saving grace that FaZe can go on a run with. They need kills behind these spawns in order to pick up that Camo. Royal 2 is going to be on it, but Stellar, I think, is going to be in a perfect position to try and deny it.
FaZe have looked flustered so far, but now have finally stopped the bleeding. They have an unofficial triple cap because C hasn't fully been converted just yet. It has now, but FaZe can start to score and close the distance. 3 dead for SSG. Royal 2 with the camouflage somehow, some way gets spotted out as Legend throws down 2 beautiful grenades to eliminate Royal 2 from the equation.
A little bit of an overstep from Royal 2. You got to know that there's a 4th player. If you're keeping track of numbers correctly there, he wasn't in blue. He had to be in that sneaky area and got out. Because Legend gets out, he's able to find the most important kill under Royal 2, who was the camo player. But FaZe keep control here. So this is what you want to see if you're rooting on FaZe to make this series a great one. 130 now to 40, starting to climb back. B and C in their favor. Unfortunately, Snakebite finds himself the last player alive. He's going to get his teammates elevator spawn, but they're going to lose the rest of the map.
Map control has been forfeited. And they've lost the opening 2 picks as well. Snakebite is now forced to try and take control of A, and Stellar immediately, with the help of Bound, will try and close the distance, but somehow Snakebite turns the tide on that fight. And we spoke about big moments in games and how pivotal kills can swing momentum. That's a huge one from Snakebite.
A massive kill, because that has relieved all of the pressure SSG would have been able to put on B. They've been able to acquire B. They continue to score, and it's little plays like that that will add up to tying this game up here, that they're able to continue this run.
There was moments like that in the last series that it was Space Station finding that clutch factor. But FaZe now starting to find their form, settling the nerves, finding their feet. In this bracket reset, they like to do it the hard way. They're being forced to here as Space Station are dragging them out into deep and muddy waters.
Roll 2 picking up a massive double. It's a killing spree, probably his first of the series. It's felt like it's been a quiet series, I would say, from just about everybody on Faze, at least the first series, I should say, and starting to heat up are the superstars on Faze. You can feel the momentum shifting. Space Station starting to try and come off their spot maybe a little bit too quick, thinking they have the same level of control that they've had the first 3 games of the original grand finals, and now Faze starting to punish them.
I want to talk about Bound West. 11-3-5, having a massive influence on this series, and I want to tell you just how much of a gamer he is. On holidays, seeing his girlfriend in the UK, and somehow manages to show up at Blackpool and starts playing 8s with some European players. That's how dedicated this guy is to playing some Halo Infinite.
Hey, Baum loves Halo, and Baum wants to be a world champion. He knows that last year was his best shot of his career so far, and he's got his eyes set on 2024. You can guarantee that this kid has every bit of drive, every bit of skill to get the job done. He's got a phenomenal world-class roster. It's just a matter of showing up on the biggest day of the year, which will be that championship Sunday 2024. But we are a long way away from there. He understands it's a grind to get to that moment, to be ready for that moment, so it's no surprise to hear that. I couldn't gas Bound enough. I think he is truly one of the best talents we have in the game.
You speak about him being on a world championship contending roster, and no doubt third place was not good enough for them.
Third.
They would have been miffed. Third. Damn, the Irish leaked through.
Yep, I love it.
So we have the question now: as irritated as they might have been by Penguin making that switch, has it all of a sudden got the potential to be a blessing in disguise with this addition of Legend?
I think it does. I think someone said it best as far as, I can't remember if it was you or one of the ogres, but I mean, Legend has...
Probably the ogres, they say good stuff.
I honestly, I was going to give you credit for this. It was, we don't know what Legend's ceiling is. And as this game is moments away from being over, we can recap that question in a second. But SSG will take game 1 when I answer that question, because I think that that's a very important piece going into this year is, can they potentially be a better team with Penguin? Or with Legend than they were with Penguin. And I think SSG truly believe they were the best team in the world last year. They just choked and did not show up in big moments. If you ask anybody on that team, I think that they would tell you that answer. I think with Legend, they're going to have a little bit different of a style than they have with Penguin. Do I think it could potentially be a more successful style? The answer for me is yes. We have to see it. I think Penguin is an unbelievable pickup for Optic. I think he will fit right in with what they do on the map and how they see the game. But I do think that Legend will be able to assist Bound and players that are flying like that and create a lot of pressure, as Penguin's a little bit more reserved in his play style, a little bit slower and methodical than who I believe Legend and players like Bound are. I think a person next to Bound as he is soaring could be something we have yet to see in Halo Infinite.
And it could even be said, Wes, that when you bring in new players, when things get maybe you go through some bad times, things get a little bit stale, and maybe the atmosphere in the camp, was Renegade gets a kill there. 2-2 the score, and as I finish rambling about my point, maybe the addition of Legend, it's a breath of fresh air. You've got new eyes, new ideas, and a different attitude entering the team, and that could just change the dynamic, and now all of a sudden everybody wants it a little bit more.
Oh yeah, that's the difficult things to talk on, right? Like, what is the dynamic of this team? How close are they? What's the motivation? A lot of times you see teams change in Halo because you almost are stalemated and you're bored and frustrated with the current team that you have. And although you would think that these guys are professionals, that stuff shouldn't get in the way, but relationships and attitude and mindset are truly important pieces to this level of competition. And refreshing the team with the team change sometimes benefits everybody on the team, motivates everybody on the team to step up their game, to grind a little bit more. And if that's the case, SSG could be more dangerous just because they're putting in more time, more effort, a better vibe as far as not everybody's so comfortable with each other where they show their frustrations nearly enough.
Legend could be the catalyst to a world championship for this team. Future's definitely looking bright. And no doubt Optic think they've stolen away a gem as well. It could go either way. But I'm so excited to check out this new season. But all I know is Legend has injected some passion, some energy, and some good footwork as well, Wes.
Yeah, they come into this tournament with so much motivation to try and take down Faze. That's for sure with the pickup of Legend, because it is a chance at a new, refreshing start. And Legend wants to prove himself on the North American stage, right? Like, I know he's been competing against North American teams, but he wants to prove himself as one of the best players in the world as an individual, and that he can play with anybody at a world-class level. This SSG roster is giving him the platform to do so, and they are having so much success. We've seen the first 4 games of the grand finals and the first half of this game 5 of what we've seen these two teams go at. And SSG now with a 20-13 lead look clean as ever.
And for FaZe, they now have to answer the question of how do you stay motivated after winning another world championship? Do they need a spark? We know after last year, Optic Gaming were the team that had that target on their back. They were the ceiling that everybody was aiming for. They were trying to close the distance. But now FaZe, they sit atop the mountain. And they have to try and swat away a few more challengers. And those challengers are looking a little bit different as they were last year.
Yeah, it's a difficult position to be in. Not one that I was really in, but if you ask either one of the ogres, I guarantee it's a much different feeling when you go into tournaments with a target on your back as the clear favorite, as the reigning world champions. I think I spent 1 tournament doing that, and I wasn't even on the same team, so not something I get to deal with. I think the underdog story is always an advantage for these teams, especially when they're so evenly matched.
Speaking of evenly matched, 3 kills separate these two teams, but again it's SSG who hold a slender advantage as we head to the mid-game. 8 minutes and 27 on the clock and ticking down quickly. Probably too quick if you're a FaZe Clan fan. Another trade. An Aquarius Slayer can be like this. It can be very close in the mid-game, whereas all it takes is a heat wave and a quantum translocator, and all of a sudden your fortune turns.
It's a beautiful push by Frosty. Catches players off guard, able to break the little bit of map control SSG have, and what was once a 7-kill game, 20-13, is now all of a sudden a 1-kill affair as kills continue to be traded back and forth. FaZe Clan actually do go 4 down there. They find themselves down 2, but if you asked them at the 20-13 mark if they would take a 30-28 deficit, they would have given you that. They've fought back in this game to make it such a little game.
Clawed their way right back in, all tied up. 31 kills apiece. 2 down for SSG, so FaZe had the numbers advantage for a second, but as Stellar tried to get a backstab with the help of that thruster pack, Snakebite was aware of it, and he kept tabs of him. Stellar will fall. And now it's going to be Frosty with that thruster pack, which can so often be a get out of jail free card, as he closes in now on the blue gen, putting down so much damage but needs a little bit of help. 2 players down to no shields, but it has not resulted in a kill. And the members of FaZe just aren't close enough just yet. Snakebite has managed to get there, but Stellar's traded it out, so it's gone 2 for 2, and that is a beautiful position if you're SSG.
I actually love that play from FaZe's point of view. I love how Renegade was able to maximize his damage. Yes, they weren't able to pick up the kills before their shields recharged, but it kept them in that utility closet, and it allowed FaZe to sandwich it from all different angles. FaZe now starting to roll. They find themselves up 8. They were once down 7 in this game, and it has been all FaZe ever since. Royal 2 finds himself another double. Snakebite having the best game of his grand final series so far at 14-5-9, and the team captain has woken up when they needed him most.
The general is starting to answer the call. They gave the first series up with very little fight, showing more now. Have they got the bit between their teeth? 2 members of SSG positioned over towards the fridge, as Royal 2 patiently waits with the heat wave and clearing corners and ensuring his team have a path and an avenue out of their base. Stellar tries to close the distance, or excuse me, Bound tries to close the distance onto Royal 2 with the help of that thruster pack, but instead hands it straight over to Royal 2, who also has a little heat wave to play with as well.
How perfect are these players, man? If you do not hit every single shot the way Snakebite just did, Bound kills him every time. But Snakebite, with the 2-tap with the heat wave, pulls out the bandit, finishes the kill. FaZe used that momentum, that map control to finish the game. And these 8 players are playing in this server, and there's so much talent that you know if they get their hands on that S7 and they create an opportunity, the pressure is coming. The flood is coming. Can you figure out a way to successfully deal with that to minimize the amount of damage that those windows are creating? Because right now those windows are deciding the games.
You speak about getting your hands on some things. If you're interested in getting your hands on some equipment available at Best Buy alongside the Arctis Nova 7 headphones, make sure to pick up the QCK mousepad, the Aerox 3 wireless mouse, and the Apex 9 mini keyboard. All FaZe Clan limited edition, again, at Best Buy.
Where can you get it?
That's at Best Buy.
Thank you very much. Renegade, can you give me something? Finds the first headshot. I mean, beautiful shots by Bound to win that D-scope fight and to award his team this top mid control, and to most importantly, remove that snipe from Renegade's hands.
It's going to be a yard push as FaZe begin to look for space. Very little to separate them in terms of progress on this opening hill. Beautiful denial grenade goes down on glass, and as a result, Snakebite was forced to reroute and go towards Loop, and that was only straight into the wakeful hands of a member of SSG, and they continue to fight off the back foot to SSG, and the fights are favoring them.
And you gotta love SSG's position right now. When this hill is top middle, you really want to control that glass and Loop area. SSG have that control. You want to force enemy teams to spawn into blue and potentially deny yard space. Right now, they've been able to take the lead in this top mid hill, momentarily, but you can see how they're positioned on the map. Bound and Legend clearly have that as their strategy to anchor that side, to keep Eco alive. Grenades are always going to take down Eco in that hill, but as long as they're forced to throw some great grenades and to waste those, you should be able to combat long enough to use that position over towards glass to acquire more time than the enemy team in the hill.
They use those grenades now, they can't use them later. Expertly done. Eco managing to bait out those nades and making sure that they will not hurt them a little bit later on. That's why we're starting to see SSG put some more serious time on the board here in hill number 1, and FaZe are forced to try and step in. Setter's going to take the bait and back away for now. Eco over towards blue. Royal 2 will just about evade that snipe shot as it whiffs right by his face. That one's a warning shot. Stellar doesn't often give you a second. Body shot connects down to no shields. Renegade fighting out of flowers. He's also forced to back away. Stellar just does so much damage on the map.
This is a perfect setup from FaZe. Although Space Station are moments away from getting this hill, FaZe have every bit of control they need. They get this kill onto flowers. They isolate all of SSG, now forced onto the snipe side of the map where you want them to be. And with that, they find 3 kills. They get back in the hill. Snipe is up. Eco is still alive at snipe, and if they tracked him correctly, they should know he's near this hill. Eco gets that kill, but a trade comes through, and let me tell you, that is so important that they're able to trade that out, because if SSG get toes in this hill, it will be theirs.
So unfortunate as Snakebite tried to avoid the shots from Legend. He thrusts down, and actually Legend was reloading his gun, so soars straight towards the grateful hands of the Frenchman. Was able to get that kill, bound down to no shields. Now sent to the respawn screen, quick fast. Legend over towards LO will also get taken care of, but there's so little between these two teams. But it's SSG who have toes in hill, and it's SSG who take the lead.
Unbelievable first hill, as close as it could be on both sides. Bound making so many different plays from that top glass area, top yellow, I'm sorry. Unbelievable job of staying alive, jumping back up, dealing damage, but most importantly, not giving up that space to be able to deny any extra hill time from FaZe, and it took every second of hill time to get that one. Now, Stellar with the snipe in hand could break this game wide open with some significant hill time here. They're going to know that all of FaZe are spawning into blue. The question is, can you stop this push?
Stellar peeling spuds. Royal 2 was going to spawn over towards blue, and has a lot of distance to cover. Almost a beneficiary of time, but Renegade gets put in the dirt. Stellar!
Oh my God.
You filthy animal!
Stellar is 15-2-4, and as close as that first hill was, Stellar does not dare. Stellar is killing everything and everyone, including Royal 2 before he goes down. 17-2-5, and he is just giving Space Station a 2-0 lead.
The game looks so easy when you're Stellar. Continuing to push the pace, push the envelope, applying pressure every single time he can, getting kills when he really shouldn't. And now SSG have a favourable spawn over towards blue for this next hill.
What a perfect flip of the map. SSG get all 4 down for Faze. Faze are spawning backyard and back glass, and this hill is so difficult to break from that position. They do find the first kill on the Stellar. They're able to get bound out of hill as well. These last 2 players are in blue. They're not really going to be a threat to the hill right now, but Faze have done everything they needed to do to make sure that this doesn't become a 3-0 lead for now, but they still have so much work to do to climb back here in this game 3.
Renegade continues to jiggle peek. Stellar fights from the left side, Eco from the right. Beautiful teamwork out of SSG. Stellar down to no shields. Royal 2 will put him away, but Legend coming off the respawn will slide down blue, and he's going to take control. Faze need to get SSG out of blue.
And it's going to be so difficult once again. It's going to be the same kind of break that they have to have. They find the first kill on a bound, but it's answered immediately by Stellar. Camo is up, and that could be a game changer here on Solitude. Renegade and Royal 2 also finding picks. Leave Eco by himself. He wants to bait the snipe, but he is found out, sniffed out, taken down. And now Faze have somehow broken this setup twice in a row. That is very difficult to do. 4 down for SSG, feet in the hill, and SSG will have to show you that they have everything that Faze has to break this hill.
Snake bite with feet up in the hill.
Double kill.
Cup of tea in hand. Dishing out damage. It's going to be pretty comfortable from here on out. They managed to rid them from blue, get rid of the riffraff, and they answer back, and now they're finally on the board. 2-1 now the score. And immediately, because of the great work from Renegade to pick up that snipe rifle, hand it over to Frosty, they now have control of snipe.
Yeah, that power curve was unbelievable. You get snipe and camo. It's a perfect setup for Faze. They finally get back into this game, but they're not going to have that same power curve for long. You got 5 bullets left in the S7. The camo is not in the equation right now. Multiple players from SSG push the hill. I love the choice to use the bandit there instead of trying to hit the no-scope. Frosty takes him down, keeps control of snipe, and will regain control of the hill as he takes down Stellar.
Frosty plants his feet. And is he aware that Legend has crossed? He looks away for a second, maybe waiting for the audio cue. Tries to find the body on the Legend, but teammate Renegade on hand to ensure Legend will be stopped in his tracks. 2 down, Bound and Legend in the respawn screen. Spawning over towards blue. Faze doing a wonderful job at keeping them at arm's length and continuing to score. And within seconds now of tying up this game, but just like that, Stellar enters the building, enters the equation, inserts a coin, and puts himself right back into the situation.
And this is a much different hill than the top mid hill or the driveway hill or even the bottom mid hill. This hill can go 100-0 very quickly, especially when the man on screen has the S7 in hand. Camouflage is up. Stellar can't go for it because he wants this hill time, but SSG are recapping this hill so quickly that Faze have to make a play, and they have to do it now.
You think you have time, but it slips away deceptively quick.
Double kill.
And Stellar putting in a real case. The reason why it's called the S7, is it the Stellar 7? Is that what we're looking at here? Stellar putting on an absolute clinic. And all the good work that Faze is completely undone. Camouflage about to go in the way of SSG.
Steps away from making this a 2-2 game. Stellar gets the snipe, and Stellar becomes a problem once again. 26 and 13. He's getting 2 for every life he has. And if he finds the snipe, we know he's getting more than just 2. It is going to be camo in the hands of Renegade. The last time Faze were able to get a camouflage, they were able to get the only soul point they have on this game. Renegade knows that there's a player in blue and needs to figure out a way to take down Bound. Beautiful shots from Renegade will give his team numbers, as they should be able to get some early hill time. But there's 57 seconds left. Shows you have to play near perfect if you want to come back in this game if you're a Faze Clan fan.
Stellar must be a fan of Taylor Swift because he continues to be the problem.
I hate you.
Bound and Legend gonna try and push through flowers from the yard spawn. Renegade optimizing a jiggle peak position here, trying to do damage and receive as little as possible. He's getting tagged up from snipe. Eco positioned S4, and just like that, Faze continue to have some semblance of control, but they're gonna have to be forced into the hill because they're running out of time.
Yeah, 40 seconds on the clock. SSG know that they do not need any more hill time this game. They are going to play defense. They are going to try to keep this hill neutralized. for 40 more seconds. World 2 gonna have something to say about it. He's found himself what feels like the first snipe of the series. And let's see what World 2 can do. A prolific Halo sniper in and of himself, but I believe now he's out of ammo. That shot was one he wants back. And here comes the push from SSG.
Faze do get their second hill. 3-2 now the score. But now, Wes, we go back to top middle, and Faze clan can ill afford to waste any time here.
30 seconds on the clock. Every death matters, and Faze just had 3 members go down. Snakebite is going to be in yard. That's the player to watch right now. If he can make a play to create some space here, if he can find this back smite, that'd be massive. A couple of kills, 3 down for SSG. The last player alive is at snipe, and Stellar's going to get a kill. 15 seconds on the clock. You cannot get out of hill, and this is a hill that can get denied easily.
Snakebite locked in a killing spree, but spawns came through yard. And now all of SSG eyes trained on top middle. And not a single member of Faze clan are going to be able to do a thing about it. Straight into the blender they go. And SSG retake the lead in this series 2-1.
Eco stepping up and having 23 kills that game. Not necessarily a known slayer for this SSG roster, but when things are in his favor and he finds his flow in a certain game, you know he has a major impact. And those 23 kills are everything SSG needed. But I mean, we got to talk about the stellar performance. When he finds snipe, good things happen for SSG, and that's got to be something that Faze have to think about from now on. It's like back in the day, sure, I would play against players like Snipe Down, for example, and it's like when he gets the sniper on some of these asymmetrical maps where there's not one just handed to him, he's going to do work. It's about how do we deny that storyline from happening. I would look for Faze to try and waste more ammo, things, traditional manners of throwing the snipe off the map, figuring out more focus on Stellar not getting the snipe, because it is such a difficult win condition to try and overcome when he has that weapon.
And what's so impressive about Stellar's playstyle, when he gets the sniper, he doesn't sit in one position and fire off shots. He gets a kill, he moves, he repositions, not content with the one kill, always trying to press home the advantages, always trying to push the pace, and that's what makes him so special.
I mean, that's part of it, right? That's part of being such a prolific sniper, one of the best to ever do it. I'll say it. Stellar is absolutely one of the most talented snipers we have ever seen in Halo, and the reason why is because his target, he doesn't miss, first off, and his ability to relocate, and his ability to not be where you think he's going to be, and by the time you find him, it's too late. He's already ripped ahead of your teammate off, or yours as well. That's such a difficult thing to track, and I think tracking a player like Stellar becomes near impossible after he finds the first pick. You got to figure out a way to control the game more if you're a Faze fan, and for SSG, you got to figure out a way to make good things happen and Stellar get the snipe more often.
Stellar proven to be like Waldo on the map. Sometimes you just can't find him, no matter how hard you try. Faze looking to have a much better start to this game number 4. Tournament life now on the line, in peril. One game away from throwing this away from the winner's side of the bracket. It would be a blunder, and they know it, but Space Station are in fine form.
Speaking of blunders, I mean, Frosty gets the rockets, he finds himself a double, and somehow nobody else on SSG goes down, right? That can't be the case. When your rocket player is able to successfully stay alive and find 2 kills, you have to find a way to take down the last 2 players alive. Faze Clan could not get to the last 2 players. Those last 2 players buy enough time, find kills of their own, and Legend, Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
That was disgusting.
Double kill.
As he finds that kill. But I mean, SSG, we've mentioned it along the way, shows how difficult the kills they're being, how well they're playing their lives in some of these situations. The impact cannot be overstated on what those moments are doing to the outcomes of these games.
Ego then, down to no shields. Legend and Stellar will fall. Decision to make time for the remaining members of SSG. Bowen's going to make the play ball. No doubt, Ego had an influence on that. Unfortunately, it's only fallen straight into the grasp of Faze Clan, as they can now attempt to put some score of their own on the board. Legends managed to leak through over towards Garbage, somehow able to stay alive, eventually picked up. It's a 1v1 with Stellar, and with the way he's playing, I just would not back against him.
It's tough. You shoot perfect. He shoots perfect. He just has the first shot on you by just a narrow second. But Stellar's timing, his reaction, his flow right now, you can tell he's feeling himself. He's in MVP form.
Locked laser and damn well nearly untouchable.
Double kill.
Such as the impact Stellar is having on this series, on this tournament. And we've seen him do it before in Salt Lake City, driving this team to victory. Hoping to have an even better, more successful season this coming. We're all eagerly awaiting the HCS roadmap. And no doubt Stellar has eyes on winning each and every single tournament that pops up.
Absolutely. This SSG roster has championship caliber ambitions. And every event they went to last year, they thought that they would walk away. They're probably very disappointed. That's why Penguin probably chose to leave. But also, that's why Legend chose to leave. He knows how strong these guys are, how scary these guys can be. At any given Sunday, these guys can be the best team in the world. It's all about momentum and making those individual plays in those moments. And SSG today are making those moments. 4 down once again for Faze. And SSG look to be the complete roster we know them to be, with the addition of an unbelievable talent and Legend, a very scary opponent to face.
Start out bottom middle, down to no shields. 3 dead for the moment. SSG with hands on ball, but Renegade makes a massive play to ensure they will not grow that lead. Shuts it down. Frosty's fighting over towards tower. Snakebite's looking to add some assistance and capitalize on the damage that was done. Does so successfully. Bound over towards PD. Snakebite's in trouble. And this push will be coming over towards the rail side. Ball carrier has got to be cautious and careful of anybody pushing front C and garbage now, as all of Space Station descend on Tram. It's down to Royal 2 to get the first pick, and Legend gets it. Eco gets a second. Rocket's about to pop up, and Snakebite wants to get there, but 2 guns trained on him. Stellar will scoop them up and somehow gets away.
He gets away, he takes down Frosty, and somehow SSG are able to transition that early, or that tram control, into Rockets, which you thought was going to be unfavorable. They may have had a numbers advantage that allowed that to happen. Snakebite was by himself trying to compete for those, but poor timing deaths on the side of Faze now have given SSG those rockets and transition to control. But since then, they've been able to pick up a couple of kills. Not only that, this ball being rotated to the back of tower right now is very impressive from Faze. A heads up play from them to get some scrappy time, but most importantly, deny SSG from using those rockets as a power curve to end this first round and keep themselves still with a chance here as we enter the last 40 points.
3 dead for SSG then. 4 dead. This is the moment. This is the opportunity that FaZe were looking for as they close in on that 66-point threshold and threaten to take the lead now. Bound bottom middle. Will lose the fight to Snakebite. Grenade will go down, trying to predict the route the Legend was going to take, but he steps away and hits the fadeaway shot. Renegade is there. And it's FaZe now in the ascendancy, and they're looking to steal away this round.
That was a big kill from Renegade on the Stellar. He cuts off that quick lane that Stellar was trying to find an opening. A good tight setup this time from FaZe is giving them this 8-point lead. And Renegade still being a nuisance, still finding kills is so important for FaZe's opportunity on this map in this round 1. 2 down now for SSG. The ball all the way across the map, and this is a big kill that potentially will solidify another chunk of time for FaZe.
On Royal 2 now to try and stay alive. Keep eyes on the ball. It's going to reset though. Shroud screen goes down to make it a difficult fight. But it is FaZe who come out on top. Snakebite's gotten a kill. Rockets have been scooped up. First one won't connect, and Renegade's in trouble of giving these ones up. Fires the second one out of panic, not really able to find a home. That's 2 rockets that go by the wayside. How telling will that be? Will that hurt their win chances now? As ball is towards Tram, Renegade has managed to rescue it and get it away, but just like that, Space Station ensure ball is dropped and Frosty's in big trouble. That's his Renegade front C.
Big kill by Bound to catch Renegade before he can get up those stairs. But Snakebite and Frosty, their defense stays strong. They have the ball in Tram. 14 points is all they need. 3 down now for SSG, and Legend forced to try and push because the time is not on his side. Legend finds a massive double with the Bulldog. slides into Trim, clears it out, and Stellar now trying to find that last player in Renegade back here. It's a one-on-one of the ages. Renegade comes out on top this time, but how many times does that fight decide the series?
Beautiful bank grenade from Bound, predicting the reach out from Renegade. Frosty's got hands on the ball though. They only need 10 more seconds. Stellar desperately tries to push the pace. Desperation is what it was. And Faze, we're waiting for him. He was like food and drink to the Bandit Evos. And it's going to be Faze who win round 1 here. And are potentially looking to push us to a game 5.
I mean, that double kill from Legend with the Bulldog I thought was going to be the recipe of disaster for FaZe, but they figured out a way off the big 1v1 win from Renegade to regain control, and they finally get to play with the lead here in one of these objectives. They had the 1-0 round lead. The battle for rockets ensues, and it does look like SSG have come out on top this time around. But FaZe looking to push this to at least a game 4. Need to figure out a way to close the door on this round, on this series, or on this game, I'm sorry. Words are tough. But SSG, with a strong start here, can push us to a round 3.
Whether it's round, game, series, all I know is Space Station still hold the lead 2-1. But they are down in our game number 4 here. You speak about that Legend play with the Bulldog, Wes. It has to be so disheartening. These players are playing at such a high level that when you get that double kill with the Bulldog, you almost rest easy. You think, all right, I've done enough to win the round. But somehow, some way, FaZe find the answer.
I mean, that's just a testament to the talent in this series. Just because you make a play doesn't mean somebody else doesn't make a play. And Renegade making a play and winning his 1v1 piv against Stellar right after that, I mean, that is just like a counterpart to what Legend just did, and that is happening at all times in these games. These players are so high skilled. Royal 2 making a play on Scream with the triple kill. He's got 23 and 13 to his name. He's starting to really heat up here, and all of these plays eventually manifest the outcome of the game, but it's just never over until it's actually over. The round is never won or lost, especially with the amount of talent. You can never rest easy or breathe lightly until the game and the scoreboard is up.
It's not over until the fat jersey sings, and I don't feel like banging out a tune anytime soon. I'm happy for this series to go the distance. SSG, they've got control of the ball. Beautiful shots out of Legend, trying to get 2. Stellar's there. And that will mean they continue to score. Rockets are down. Bound. Last man alive then. Scooped up then. Rockets in hand. PD spawn. It's going to be very important for the ball from where it's positioned. FaZe are going to have to reslay here with these rockets because of the advantageous spawns that have come their way. And here goes Renegade sliding into the heart of battle. First rocket was a prediction rocket, and it did not connect. And how detrimental will that be to the cause as Legend putting down damage, but Royal 2 with 3 of the freshest find a home.
And not the cleanest rockets from Renegade in this series. The first one was actually great. The way he played his life when he was no shield to make sure that if Bound did come, he was going to get the kill but not blow himself up. Unfortunately, that second rocket is one he's going to want back. And with that, SSG have figured out ways to trade efficiently enough to maintain this 7-point lead. They're going to be stuck in Tram, and it's a difficult spot to fight out of unless Snakebite gives up his life like that. And that's an issue with the Bandits as well. If you poke out, if you overextend, and there are 2 players looking at you, you will get taken down. A lesson learned the hard way from Snakebite there, but the ball is recovered and rotated back towards the cafe area, and that's a massive play from Frosty playing some objective as well.
Frosty recognizing the objective was in trouble, rotates it away from harm's way. Picks it up and drops it over towards Tower. It's going to be a long, hard push for Space Station to get close here. Legends manages to get himself back. Tower Bulldog just doesn't have the legs to get to where it needs to get the kill. And as a result, Frosty's going to stay alive. Stellar's going to take this fight over towards the cafe. Frosty recognizing that he has to back away for now. Stellar holds a very slender shield advantage, and the grenades are going to ensure Frosty stays to 1 shot as he tries to get into this little nook and cranny. Rockets up in 5, and they're going to be pivotal for the way this series shakes out.
And these kills are pivotal to achieving those rockets. It's going to be all 4 down from FaZe. Legend, like a bulldozer, comes out of tires, finds himself 2 kills and an assist to help his team not only take the space, not only get a perfect setup back tower with the oddball, but to acquire those rockets and almost guarantee that this setup is going to be a very difficult one to break.
You know what bulldozer is in French, Wes? Le bulldozer, probably. And that's exactly what Legend has been.
Le bulldozer.
Le bulldozer. Eco and tires.
That was good.
As Renegade tries to find 3 fresh shots with the Stalker rifle that can output so much damage. So much damage, in fact, that Space Station were forced to respect it and drop the ball and use that extra gun on the map. And as a result, Faze find themselves down by 2 members here. This push is going to be quite difficult as Legend continues to challenge, but to his own detriment as Snakebite shuts him down.
Good expectation from Snakebite. He knows Legend as a player is going to try and slide challenge him there. He just plays his life. He stands still. He makes sure that he does not miss any shots. If he does that, he does his job. 3 down, make it 4 down for SSG. Legend is coming off respawn. That ball is going to be brought back to the tower. This game is going to be all tied up here momentarily.
Bound to first point of contact. Straight into the Bandit Evo of Renegade. As he continues to patrol tires. Looking for the trade, does better than that, gets the kill. Eco will hassle and hurry and try and get it and secure Renegade, but unfortunately for him, unable to do so. 3 go down, bound, last man standing, back tower, and this should be a pretty easy task for them to clear him out, and they have done so. What a game of oddball we have here, Wes.
As close as it could be here in round 2, 50 to 50. And the push from SSG is going to look to try and break this setup. The ball has been rotated into PD. Multiple members of Faze stand between SSG and this ball, however, and Renegade stands the tallest as he finds himself a double. Jumps over the back of the 3rd player, able to stay alive. Maybe doesn't find the triple there, but that movement from Renegade, the awareness that that player was going to come out and to jump over him right there, keeps numbers in Faze's favor, keeps the ball in their hand, and will guarantee SSG are forced to push here a little bit recklessly because this round is going to get out of hand and Faze look to tie it up.
The Demon has clocked in 90 seconds of oddball for his team. 27 kills, 10 assists, and 21 deaths. An incredibly well and good performance out of him, but 3 go down, and just like that, any advantage they did have has been flipped.
Yeah, very untraditional scoreline in the objective column from Faze right now. You got to call it out. 90 seconds for Renegade. Frosty was 77. 1 second for Snakebite. You know Royal 2's not touching the ball, but
you're expecting from Royal 2, yeah. We expect that.
That's actually like that's par course, right?
Par for the course, yeah.
Yeah, we know Royal 2's not touching that thing. He's staying as far away. Renegade though, triple with the Stalker, the over, the metal doesn't get there. But I'll give it to the kid. 4 straight kills for Renegade there. Stalker and Bulldog in hand. And now look at how desperate SSG look trying to fly across the map. They're not going to get there. And Renegade forces a game 5. All right, here we go. First to 50. Recharge has been featured twice throughout these 2 series. And it has been SSG that's taken advantage of both the recharges previously. We're talking about objectives, of course. This Slayer is going to dictate who wins the big pot. The Faze, the world champions, keep their momentum from Worlds, or are SSG here to compete for titles is the big question. These 50 kills might decide it. 3-0 lead right now. SSG with a perfect start and everything to play around.
Last year we seen SSG win the SSG tournament. We didn't see Optic win the Optic tournament. Our Faze is about to win their home tournament. I know. But not sad. A Stellar with the camouflage and the shock rifle. Someone put a stop to this man.
No, keep going, bud. I'm rooting for you at this point. We've seen people try to put a stop to Stellar in these moments, and no one can do it. At this point, just let the young man soar.
Sometimes your Stellar is going to Stellar. Renegade almost steps into the cross there. He's been going intergalactic all series long. He has it in the chamber at any given moment. Pulls out a box of magic tricks, somehow so precise no matter what weapon you put in his hands, but particularly with the sniper rifle and the shock. He can really put you to the sword.
It seems to be the most punishing weapons are the ones he's the best with, right? The ones that have the high risk, high reward, high precision. Yeah, that's Stellar's game right there. 6-0-1 to start off a game 5. Everything SSG fans wanted to see. And now to be able to play from the lead is such an important quality on Recharge, because so easy is it to turn this into a stalemate and deny some of the pushes that are going to have to come from the Faze side. Renegade did start this game off 6-1-2, however, as this second camouflage is coming up, Renegade has kept his team within a striking distance for now.
It's important you mentioned that, okay? A 6-kill advantage for SSG, but more importantly than that, Wes, they now have the opportunity to dictate the pace of play, because like you say, they can opt to play this one slowly and invite the pressure on, or they can continue to punish whenever Faze step out of order.
Yeah, the only thing that's going to change that story is the camouflage. Where did it go? It is top C plat, and that is in control of Faze's hands. A 4-kill game, make it a 3-kill game. I don't know what Frosty just did down there, but it was downright dirty to stay alive and get his team back into this. And now Renegade with camo in his hands has so much information on where this enemy team is, and he is picking players off. Faze are back.
1-kill game. Stellar, all alone, bottom elevator. Do they know he's there? He managed to prolong his life for a little while, enough for Bound to close the distance and provide some cover fire. Legend locks in 2. What looked like a Faze clan advantage very quickly dissipated. 3 kills then between these two. And you just know this one's not done just yet.
Oh no, he's doing it again.
Uh-oh.
We've seen this before, Shurs. Oh!
He has added the shock rifle to his basket, and he continues to put on an absolute clinic. And when he's hitting these shots, I'm not taking the gun out of his hands.
I talked about it earlier in the series. The win condition is not letting him get the snipe, because when he gets the weapons in his hands, it's already too late. Stellar rips the head off of 2 more players, 8-1-3, and a lot of ammo left in this shock rifle. Faze have got to be very careful with how they approach this. These grenades are gold, and Renegade doesn't expect him to be there. Finally, someone stops the reign of Stellar, and it is the reign of Renegade, in fact, that does so. Renegade is 12-4-4 to keep his team within 2 kills.
The reign of Stellar was well and truly a reign of terror. Beautiful shots, though, from top tower. Puts a stop to the shock rifle, for now at least, in the hands of Snakebite. What can the general do? An engagement going down towards bottom elevator. Bound has lost his life. Legend will join him. 3 go down, and just like that, we're all tied up.
All tied up. Shock rifle with 1 shot left, and Snakebite's gonna hold on to that as long as he can, just because he doesn't want that thing to respawn with full ammo and have Stellar get it. Eventually puts it to work on Bound here, and Bound just rushing at Snakebite. The disrespectful play pays off. Snakebite does not expect that to be the case, but on the other side of the map, Royal 2 and Renegade both find kills. Stellar able to trade at least one of them out. This game staying 27-27 after the blows that we have seen from both sides is the most impressive part of how closely competitive these two teams are.
The butterfly effect is so wild in a game of Halo. Stellar down to no shields, challenges Renegade at the elevator, who just couldn't find the shots to put him away. He then turns that 1 kill into 2 and ensures Space Station now hold a 3-kill lead. Stellar is doing it all right now.
Everything Stellar's doing, Renegade's matching. It's about the other 3 on the team right now, I feel. Those 2, they're popping off. They're in the zone. They're going to make plays. Can the others figure out a way to impact the final 20 kills of this game right now? 32-29, like you said, Camo will be coming up. I do like Faze's positioning here. They're able to shoot off Legend, but there's going to be a lot of pressure coming onto these players bottom mid, and unfortunately, Space Station read the play like a book. They shut down that turbine push and extend the lead to 5.
Faze have been in this position before in this Slayer and managed to find an answer.
Double kill.
Renegade has got to get this kill. So much damage being put down though when Renegade only had to find that 1 shot. Spares his blushes, does the demon. But still, 6 kills separate these two as we very quickly push the 40 kill mark. Space Station firmly in the driver's seat.
It's a 7-kill lead right now. Stellar and Renegade still tied at 16 apiece. But right now, the rest of SSG doing a little bit more. 10 assists on the side of Bound. That's got to be a massive difference maker in his impact on how this game is going. They know Renegade's stuck on this bat ledge. Sorry, it's Snakebite. Bound able to take that player down. And a very successful push from SSG right there. Break this game and extend their lead to 7, but approach that 50 kill mark even faster.
One more round in the chamber for Renegade to use in this shock rifle. And now we can see the pace of the game completely slow down as Space Station recognize they're so close to victory and they do not need to be the first team to move.
7 kill lead. The time not really a factor yet. How long does this stalemate go on is the big question. I don't think in an online tournament they're willing to slow it down to the final moments. It will be up to Faze to find the opening. It will be up to Faze to push into blue. How strong is SSG's setup?
Bound puts a shot into Renegade, just keeping him honest. And like we say, the impetus now is on Faze to blink first. They'll be the first team that's forced to make a move.
What in the world is this angle?
I'm all right with it. I'll allow it.
He gets a kill right here. I'll name my second child Renegade.
Stellar and Renegade, 2 kids on the horizon. No doubt with the way this tournament has gone. I wouldn't bet against either one of these players being the difference maker. 17 kills for Renegade, 17 for Stellar. Let's just settle this the old-fashioned way. It's a 1v1 for the ages.
Slow and methodical, but SSG starting to move on the map. Look at where Eco is. He is in the bottom of pit. And as Frosty with camo grapple, I mean, Eco's going to see that and call him out. He's going to be stuck up here. Frosty trying to get out of here with camo. Somehow does stay alive, but maybe not the success they needed. They do find 2 kills, however. It's a 4-kill game.
Although Frosty didn't do any damage, he had a lot of guns and attention on him, and that allowed the rest of his team to pick up a couple of kills. So although he didn't do any damage, he held the attention, and that was enough. Bounds completely isolated in long haul. The rest of SSG are going to try and get there, but 2 kills go the way of Frosty, and all of a sudden we have a 2-kill game, and Space Station are on the run.
And here comes the crunch from the other side. They're going to be able to finish these kills. Does Legend get a kill for a trade? No. 43-43. Faze slow it down. Faze play perfect. A killing spree from Roll 2 will give Faze the lead. A 7-8-0 run now. Faze are on to gain the lead in Game 5 of the Grand Finals reset.
This is why they're the world champions. The ice in the veins, finding an answer. They had no problem making the push. 2 players down to no shields. The collapse comes through, and Space Station are in a vice right now.
It's flawless. 1 death is all Faze have given up. Frosty in the back of blue knocks Brown down to no shield. This game is not over yet. 49-46. A little bit of blue control right now from SSG. They spot out Snakebite. He's forced to turn around and run away, but the Bandit and Turbine spots 3 players going long haul. They have all the information they need. And let's see how Faze choose to play this one.
Like a pendulum, this game has swung back and forth, and Snakebite, the general, gets the final kill. Faze Clan win the Faze Clan X Steel Series Halo Invitational 6K Open. Incredible. That's all from us. Take care.